The sun never feels warmer than after you've skied 51 kilometers. Welcome to the Gatineau Loppet. For the over 2,000 participants in this year's event, it all starts in the same place. The Race Kit Pickup and Ski Expo, which lasts all weekend in Gatineau. Weekend events include skate skiing, classic skiing, snowshoe races, and even fat biking now. The races get underway on Saturday morning, with the first events being classic ski events. In my case, that meant taking a bus and taking part in the 51-kilometer point-to-point event, which starts out in Wakefield, Quebec and winds its way all the way through Gatineau Park and finishes back where we started at Mont Bleu High School. All of the trails that are used during the classic event are freshly groomed the days before leading up to the event. That includes laying down tracks where you normally wouldn't have them to make sure that everyone has room to pass. One of the highlights of the start of this race was heading across a covered bridge before making our way along Lac Philippe and back towards Meech Lake. As you can see, the snow and the conditions were pretty amazing. The day's temperature started out somewhere around -8 with a bright sun and almost no wind. We had great glide and kick to start things off, making our way along the course. At the start of the race, people are put into waves depending on how fast they think they'll finish the event. I seated myself further back, which gave me an opportunity to watch the leaders head out on the course at the beginning. Being part of the World Loppet Series, this is an international event, so the leaders come from all over the world and feature some amazing athletes that double pole almost the entire way. But for us mere mortals, we had to do things like herringbone up the hills. Luckily, there's plenty of aid stations along the way as well, with great sets of volunteers to hand out drinks and food to you. Whatever you needed, they were there ready to hand it to you. As you can see, as this day wore on, things got sunnier and warmer, which made things a little bit tricky for the waxing, so things did get a little bit slower towards the end for us slowpokes. But no matter how you finished, you crossed that finish line and there's always somebody there with a smile and a medal to put around your neck before heading to the refreshment tent. A range of food and drinks were on offer, including fresh maple taffy pulls, as well as some complimentary beer to get you rehydrated. There was also a full meal waiting for everyone inside the school, but with the bright sun outside and food to eat, I was just as happy staying outside watching people finish. It was also nice to watch some of the podium winners receive their prizes. Gorgeous morning to join my fellow skiers in some skate skiing today. Welcome to day 2 of the Gatineau Loppet. Temperatures were already well above zero before the races started, but with a stiff wind blowing, it kept things a bit cooler at the start. Today I was taking part in the 27-kilometer skate ski. It's worth mentioning that on both days there are events that span from 5, 10, 15, 27, and even 51 kilometers, so there really is a race for everybody. And if you're interested in either the fat biking or the snowshoeing, there were 10K and 20K fat bike races, as well as 5 and 10K snowshoe races. As you can see from my footage, conditions out there were very fast if you had the right wax on your skis. With such a bright blue sky and sun shining, it was hard not to race the entire thing with a smile on your face. But once again, if you were hungry or thirsty, the volunteers were there to pick you up and keep you going as they cheered you through. With long, cold, snowy winters in our region, we're lucky to have such amazing events to choose from to keep us from getting too bored over the winter months. With such a diverse network of trails in the Gatineau Park, this truly is a world-class event, and it's great to hear so many different languages being spoken by people that are coming from Sweden, Norway, Switzerland, Germany, all over the world just to take part in this fantastic event. I will say that by the end of the race though on this day, things were getting pretty mushy out there, so I was glad to have the final downhills to the finish line. Once I crossed, I was lucky enough to be able to turn around and start watching the lead pack from the 51-kilometer racers come in. It was amazing to see the strength that they displayed after such a long race. And of course, they got to celebrate with their champagne shower shortly after the finish before retiring for a meal. Well, that does it for me from this year's Gatineau Loppet. It was a great weekend skiing. I even managed to snag 3rd place in my race today. All in all, a great weekend. See you next year.